As an international student, I think my biggest challenge when I came here is language.
Hi, my name is Tina Nue.
Hello, my name is Angie.
And I'm from the Philippines.
And I'm from Vietnam.
I'm from Vietnam and I'm an international student from last year, so this is the second year I study here.
For me, I would say the language because international students have their own language. Like let's say Vietnamese, Tagalog, or anything. So it's really hard for them to convert in English because I know it's not their main language. So I think it's probably one of the challenges that they have to face every time they go abroad.
The very first one I comment is language. So I actually have studied English before I came to Canada, but mostly I focus on grammar and writing in Vietnam. Therefore, my communication skill is not good at their natural South should be. I got trouble when I talk with my friends, my host, and my people around me. So to be able to talk fluently is maybe take a lot of time. It's depend on how I expert myself. The second one is local weather. It sounds like not that serious, but it is. Winter in Canada is not really ideal as I thought before coming. No, at all. Because it snow a lot, so I had to clear the snow to be able to walk easily. Otherwise, it would be extremely difficult, and it would be definitely slippery if I'm not careful. And the temperature is very low, so make sure to keep yourself warm and try to enjoy the winter. I'm still trying to get used to it. The third one is homesick. So the first time when I had just come, I feel homesick. It stayed in my head, my heart, every single day. I had to stay away from my family, my relative and friends, those people who I was close and attached for many years. I miss my hometown, the delicious food, the attractive scenery, and so on. I felt sad and lonely until I met new friends. Now I still feel homesick, but not so often as before. It's obvious, but it's worth mentioning as one of the most challenging to overcome when studying abroad.
As an international student, I think my biggest challenge when I came here is language. It's hard for me to talk to anyone, even teacher. Whenever I start a sentence or answer someone question, I just worry if my word I used was wrong or my grammar wasn't good. And day before, it wasn't easy to get my voice out. I had to overcome challenge by finding me another international friend to practice my English with me to get my confidence back.
I think the difficulty that they have to overcome is that they have to face the fact that they're now independent on their own. They're leaving their families and friends behind to be, while studying abroad. And also they're gonna meet new people that aren't the same culture or speak the same language as them, which is I think it might be unfamiliar for international students if they're new.
It's annoying for me. Surrey time zone is 14 hours slower than my hometown time zone. I was defending shocks, so I yawned my head off all the time in daytime and could not sleep in the nighttime. when I spoke up, my throat got hurt and my nerves sneezing. I have to take Advil. So depend on every person, this trouble can last for days. For me, it took more than a week. Trust me, it's so frustrating. It might be not a big deal compared to people's opinions, but I think this is the very, very first step that all international students will have to go through. Thank you.
I think that for me is making friends and getting to know people is a better way to be adapt to the culture and communicating in Canada, because at the time when I was really new to Canada, this place like really unfamiliar. The language for me was a difficulty, but I met people that are willing to help me getting better at English. Also, they are trying the best to like overcome my anxiety and make this place seems like home to me.
First time came to Canada, it is a terrible experience with me. Really came to a new environment, with new language, new friend. Yeah, it is very hard for me. It also make me feel very stressed, very depressed, and it also make me quieter. So it is a way that I have to adapt with Canada, learning the way to life. So I just try to open myself, join many activity in school, out school, and learning more vocabulary in English every weekend. So it worked. It helped me feel more confident and make and it also helped me make friends easier. It worked. It helped me more confident, easier to make new friends and continue my life in Canada.
So as a teacher of international students in my classes, the biggest issue I think facing my students is one is stress. I think they're very stressed about making academic achievements in a different language. I also think another issue is confidence and trying to fit in, finding friends and peers that are like-minded, so they can be more comfortable and build their own confidence as they learn their a second language such as English. So one of the great and exciting things in my class is actually having students that come from different countries. I think it's a great opportunity for us to connect almost on the same level for most of my students, and share some of their culture, their language, and try and find similarities between ourselves and also look at the differences. I think that's very important, whether it would be somebody coming to Canada or if there was a student who was going, for example, to South Korea. I think finding those commonalities is extremely important and lots of fun doing it. So some of the struggles that I see coming up in my classrooms most often is trying to connect with Canadian culture, or what we think is Canadian culture. So a lot of pop culture, so popular things that we know in Canada, they don't normally have any ties to. Some things like movies, like say for example, like the Avengers movies, those are all over the world, so people connect with different types of movies. But if you don't know a Canadian reference, then my students are like lost. So that's one big thing, is culture can be a bit of a struggle. And also groups. I find group work can be difficult because people are afraid of speaking up, trying their English language skills that they've learned, afraid of failure, or afraid that the other person isn't going to understand them. But I find that when I put students in groups, most times, is that they find something they have in common. And if they have an opportunity to share their experiences, it opens up deeper conversations. And then they can see that they are not the only ones that are struggling, that all their peers are struggling as well. And I think that's really important.